Okay, I've done more research on the subject and have finished the changes I needed to make to EC Calc to incorporate the secondary waves. And from what I told you previously on the other video, these are the changes that are in effect. First, I've changed the names of the secondary waves. Instead of calling them the third, fourth, fifth, I labeled them by what they are. A second occasion of the diffuser wave, a third occasion, so I just call it 2D, 3D. Third occasion of the baffle, fourth occasion of the baffle, 4B, 5B, like that. And the waves that occur during the time that is important are 7 different ones, whereas before I thought it was 4. So I've included 7 on the calculator. And I realized that what I thought was a stinger wave was some of these other secondary waves happening past the same cycle. Like the wave comes back when the piston's totally closed, goes back to the baffle or to the diffuser, comes back again when the piston again is open. So the next cycle. So that's where that confusion came in. So the stinger wave is too weak because it's just a small section of the area of the belly area. So it reflects a wave just very small. I couldn't even find it on the pressure traces by Blair. And playing with the EC Calc, I found out that you can change the power band by changing when the diffuser wave starts. Let me show you what I mean. So in this example, the top of the power band is 10,000 hertz. Let me try to explain this. If this diffuser is longer and the header is shorter, then that time at which it's going back and forth between the piston and the diffuser is shortened. And so if you have, like if right here, the diffuser wave starts at 0.96 milliseconds from exhaust opening. And so if you double that, that's 1.8 milliseconds, which is somewhere around here. So if that diffuser wave started late, then the secondary wave would start late, and it might encroach upon the time between TC and EC when you want a pressure wave. You want this pressure wave here. So you don't want a vacuum wave happening here. So you want to make that diffuser longer than what I previously thought would be ideal. So let me show you what I found out. Okay, this right here is an example of before and after, calculating it without the secondary wave and calculating with the secondary wave. Sometimes the secondary waves are beneficial. In this case, there's 2 that's beneficial. One, increase the vacuum of the diffuser wave, and the other, increase the pressure at exhaust closing, just a little bit more than what it would be otherwise. And on the overall pipe power band graphs, this is calculating without the secondary waves. And if you put that over here, you'll see that they're about the same here, But then you've got this right here, and this is increase. This over rev happens as a result of this occurring at exhaust closing. But overall, that is not my primary pick for where I would have the diffuser wave start. These three graphs right here are the same setup, and this one is on the notes out here. You can see this one is a 280 millimeter diffuser, this one is 320 millimeter, and this is 360 millimeter with the header adjusted to suit. So if you take the average of these points along the graph, these 5 points, this is an average of 3.5 horsepower. This one at 2.6, and this one at 3.2. This would be close to what I was previously recommending. So by extending the distance of that diffuser, even though you lower the peak of the diffuser wave, you actually gain more power as a result of correct manipulation of the secondary diffuser waves. So this right here is a horsepower graph of Blair's test engine, and I've calibrated EC-Calc by it to be along the same lines, beginning and ending here from 9,400 to 13,400, which is an increase of 3.35 horsepower. Previously I had a graph showing the pipe horsepower on top of the engine horsepower, but I realized that I'd made too many leaps of faith in designing that, and I'm really lacking in enough information to really make that valid, so I've removed that part from EC-Calc. So what I want to explain here is that usually on the horsepower graph of a bike, you'll feel the horsepower kick in, and then it peaks out, and then right about along here is where you'll upshift. So really the power band is not fully this distance right here. It is more like from the beginning to about halfway down. So if you count the RPM, the RPM here, you'll know what the true bandwidth is just by looking at it. So that's a little bit of a human calculatory factor that I'm throwing in that you need to be aware of. And I don't know if there's anything else I want to say. I think that pretty much covers it. Let me show you on EC-Calc. These are the 7 waves: 2D, 3D, 4D, 1 baffle, 1 diffuser, 3rd baffle wave, 4th baffle wave, 5th baffle wave. And here you have a little calculation of some others that aren't included: 6B, 7B, 8B, 1B, 2D, and the Stinger wave, which is, like I said, is too small to consider. And on sheet 3, the calculation is done at the top to the right of the diffuser wave calculator. All this is new right here. All these calculations for the secondary waves. Don't ask me to explain it. I get a headache trying to explain it. I just whiz along and let the electrons flow and watch the magic happen. So on EC-Calc now, you have this little section right here where you can choose to incorporate the secondary waves or not. but I always recommend choosing Y for yes when you're going to input the values to get the power graph. It's just a point of reference to be able to see how the waves are actually affecting it by going between. So you see, you get a depression of the baffle wave here, and with the diffuser wave, a lessening of it right here. So that's an interesting effect. So that about covers that. If you have any questions, let me know.